The Canadian Card Collector here, and welcome back to day 656 of a daily deck review. And the deck that we're taking a look at today is the Shodou Limited Edition playing cards. So, no further ado, take a look and see what we get. And on the front here, you can see is that it is kind of more like a matte finish, not like a complete matte finish, more like a satiny, kind of in between like a glossy and a matte finish. There is that red and white kind of style tuck box here. You got the little circles around with that Japanese kind of writing inside there. On one side, you got some more Japanese writing. It's a Shodou, if I'm pronouncing that right. And then it says limited edition on the other side there. And the tuck boxes, like I said, is that kind of like red and white kind of style. So it's like half and half. On the bottom here, it says printed in Taiwan by Hansen Chen Production Co. and designed by that person. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. On the back, little sneak peek of the back side. There's no seal for the card. On the top is the red and white. Inner tuck flaps here says write your own style. And then a little more Japanese symbol. The inner tuck flaps are just red. Pick the cards out of the box. On the inside tuck box here, just that matte white finish. Nothing too crazy or fancy going inside there. But now that we took a look at the tuck box, time to take a look at the cards. And so we'll start with the back side. So here we have that back side. So kind of the similar design we saw on the front of the tuck box. You got that white kind of like painted kind of circle with the Japanese kind of lettering inside. Then you got the red background there with that kind of little white kind of little corners on there's corners there. So if you flip it over, it'll be the same design in both directions. But now for the cards here. And I did get this deck. Okay, before we get to the cards, I did get this out of like a open box mystery deck, an open deck mystery box. So this deck was already open. So it's not in new deck order, and there's a reason for that. So I'm guessing these are the two Jokers because they're identical cards here. And then they have that kind of white corner here, and then they have a red corner, and then a white corner there, on there, and then it has the Japanese lettering. But then we get to this card here. It's all fully inked with red. It says Shodou. It says calligraphy. So each card on each of the cards, they don't have the regular like hearts, clubs, diamonds, and stuff like that. They don't have the regular suits. They have their own Japanese like symbols and lettering and numbers there. And that says limited edition, 1 of 1,000, designed by that person again, produced by Hansen Chen Production Company. There, and then on the back, it tells you all the different like names and what the symbols are in Japanese, and then it corresponds to a different number there. So it has kind of like a little index to tell you what they are. And that was going to take me a while, so these are definitely not in new deck order, but as you can see, like this line here, well, it's upside down. But if I had it this way and you looked here, that would be a 2. There, so you kind of get the idea. And each of their own, each number. Well, there is different suits, technically, because these two suits in the corners are the same. And then you got that one, which is slightly different. And you got that kind of one there. So I think there are technically different suits. Yeah, there's 4 different suits, but I don't know what suit is what, because they're in Japanese. There, so I didn't bother putting in new deck order, because I don't know what suit is what. But as you can see, all the different Japanese styling to it. It was pretty unique to see different styles instead of just like the regular like English versions of the suits and pips that we all see. So there's technically only 13 different cards, but they all have the different like the suits in the corners. There. So you get 55 cards instead of 56 because you get the 2 Jokers and this little like instruction kind of card there. And now that we took a look at the cards, time to test the handling. They're pretty nice springs. A little bit like a softer spring to it, but they still spring pretty nicely. And with these cards, they have like a different ability for the fans. They still fan pretty nicely because you got the white upper top and then the red down below. But then if you do like the reverse fan, which I can't really do reverse fans, but if you do that, it would be red on top and white on the bottom. And it would be the same for the back. So you got the red on the top and the white on the bottom. But then if you reversed it, it'd be white on the top and red on the bottom. And I like these kind of decks because they got some really cool looking giant fans. So if we did giant fan it. So it's kind of like a reverse. You got the white giant fan on the inside, but then you got like the red giant fan on the outside. So overall, like I say, the handling is pretty nice. I did say that I got these from an open deck mystery box, so they were open, so that slightly affects the handling a little bit. But they still like hold up pretty nicely. They still fan like pretty nicely. It's like not too much clumping. As you can see, there's a little bit of wear. Almost like the fully inked cards, because if you use fully inked cards enough, it will start to wear, and you can definitely see that there on the red parts. But it's all, honestly not too bad. There. Obviously, I'm not going to use this deck too much for card games or anything, just because I can't really understand what these are, because I don't like speak Japanese or read Japanese. But I guess if I read this enough, then I probably could learn it, but, you know. And once again, here's that little index card there, so you can see all the different numbers, and then you got the different numbers on each card there. Which is kind of unique, like I said. And the back design once again, but I guess, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. And this has been day 656 of a daily deck review. And this has been the Shodou Japanese inspired style playing cards. And I'm the character signing out. That's the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.